certified most accurate. Now your TV5 First Alert forecast.
Good Tuesday afternoon. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Diane Phillips. Your First Alert weather team has come together, and we have First Alert weather days that we are issuing for Wednesday and Thursday. We are going to find the timeline Wednesday evening to where we'll really start to see some of these snow bands set up, and they will intensify. This is all lake effect, though, that we will be working with during these First Alert weather days. And even overnight, some of these bands and snow squalls will be so intense that we do anticipate some whiteout conditions for drivers and some fast snow accumulations underneath those bands. So going into Thursday morning, even the lightest amount of snow is going to make our roadways a little bit slippery, especially back roads or untreated roads. Those are going to be a little bit slower and problematic. So be mindful that the morning commute on Thursday is definitely going to be slower speeds than what you're used to. The hour by hour does have a quiet forecast for today with some cloud cover, maybe a few peaks of sunshine. But as the cold air starts to come in, we will find the lake effect starts to brew. Once we get closer to dinner time, we'll see that towards our west. Overnight, though, and the snow showers start to come in, we'll be seeing those pivot into mid-Michigan, and by Wednesday morning, you have a pretty good round of snow that's going to be coming in towards the thumb in Huron County especially. So I do anticipate some slower travel into the thumb Wednesday morning, but really those impacts should be geared a little bit later into Wednesday. Of course, whenever snow is falling, keep an eye for slippery road conditions because that's always on the table. But here comes some of the snow bands for the evening commute, and those are going to be hanging around. Some of these more darker blue, more vivid colors. That means that we are going to have that intense snowfall, so that's going to be tricky to drive in and drop that snow pretty quickly. And that action is still going to carry into the thumb through midnight, and behind that system, we'll still have some lake effect and another good burst in our northern counties by Thursday morning. But the lake effect on Thursday will not be nearly as intense as what it will be on Wednesday. The impacts that we anticipate, the First Alert weather days are in place because not necessarily snow totals, but just more of those impacts that are going to be slowing down your normal routine. So we will find the slippery and slower travel to be expected, the blowing snow and lower visibilities for folks behind the wheel. And even for folks who do have to head out Thursday morning, even if you're just shoveling, you are going to find wind chills below zero. So it's going to be feeling quite chilly. This will be some of the coldest air that we felt all season. Some of the snow totals, you will find these amounts to not be maybe as large as what you would be expecting, but with lake effect, we typically see these totals to be lower and also a lot of banding. So these bands can set up and just shift by a couple of miles, making a big difference on what you measure in the backyard. But we will be looking at potentially 1 to 4 inches across the thumb, but a little bullseye there in Huron County. We'll also see into the Tri-Cities that we'll be looking at about 1 to 2 inches with that snow band that tries to cut through Midland and Bay City. We'll also see north of US 10 around that 1 to even 3 inch mark to be expected with some of those snow showers. Of course, stay updated on the First Alert weather app for that updated snowfall map, as we will need to make some adjustments depending if those snow bands start to shift. In the next 7 days, we will find temperatures also drop during this time frame, the lake effect bringing in the cooler air. We have a dry forecast on your Friday, and going into the weekend, we have another system on Saturday to watch that has the potential for some snow and rainfall in it as temperatures start to warm back up.
Stay with WNEM TV5 on air, on the go, and online for more news and weather updates.